Hello, good morning, Miss Lady. My name is Lisette de Leon. I am currently studying the subject of phonetics and phonology. Today I'm going to talk about three topics: the phonemic chart, aspects of phonetic speech, and stress. Well, as introduction, I can say that phonemic charts are useful for learning English pronunciation because the spelling of a word in English doesn't always tell us how it is going to sound. If we write them using some different symbols from the phonemic chart, then we can clearly show how a word sounds. The aspects of phonetic speech that are presented in chapter 6 are assimilation, elision, linking, and rhythm. But I also investigate other types of aspects like intonation and weak forms. Finally, we have stress. While pronunciation is important, sometimes it's just as important to get the word stress correct. English words always have one part in the word, like the syllable, that is stressed more strongly, than others. This is called the primary stress. Correct primary stress helps the listener to understand your speech. Well, I'm going to explain each topic. Okay, this is my presentation. As I have already said, my name is Lisette Anaí de León Piñón. The activity that I did is activity number 5, spider diagram. Today is Sunday, December 19, 2021. Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about the phonemic chart. The chart is an abstraction of the 44 English phonemes from the IPA chart. Understanding this principle of interrelationships is crucial in phonetics, and it can only help the classroom teacher. Okay, another important idea is the chart has 3 main units. The vowels are shown in the upper half and the consonants in the lower. About the monophthongs. For vowels, these are shown on the left. On the other hand, the diphthongs are on the right. The diphthongs. The diphthongs are grouped in columns in terms of whether they are centering or plosive diphthongs. The chart uses 3 variables. The number 1 is voiced or voiceless. The number 2, place of articulation. And the number 3 is manner of articulation. Okay, so for example, I have here some main ideas of these 3 variables. I'm going to explain a little bit about voiced or voiceless. On the first 2 rows of the consonant half of the chart, notice how the sounds are paired, with the voiceless phoneme always on the left of the pair. Place of articulation. The pairing itself refers to place. The pairs P and P and V, and T and Z are bilabial and alveolar respectively, and so on. Again, these groupings are in the first 2 rows only. Manner of articulation. This first row is plosive. The second one is fricative. About problem sounds. In these headings, it refers of different problems when the word is sound, or when the word is said, or I don't know how to say, by a person. The problem sounds I and R are well paired. They are difficult sounds to pin phonetically. Frictionless continuant. Taking the example of elusive R, that is normally called frictionless continuant because the air stream escapes freely without friction over the central part of the tongue. Other considerations. The visual logic of the chart is assimilated. It can add considerably to a teacher repertoire there the pronunciation is concerned. Okay, I'm going to pass over the next topic, aspects of connected speech. Okay, so before that, it's important to mention that this is the phonemic chart made by Heinemann, 1994. So this is the main tool that teachers use when we teach pronunciation in English. So as you can see, it has different symbols according to the word. Yes. Okay. Now I'm going to pass to the next subheadings that I have already said, aspects of connected speech. Okay, so phonology is about the relationship between sounds when they are forced into a relationship with each other. There are many considerations, many possibilities. So the aspects of connected speech that I said in the introduction are assimilation, elision, linking, rhythm, intonation, and weak forms. Assimilation. It is a common phonological process of a speech segment becomes more like than that or another segment in a word. Elision. Elision causes a lot of problems in word recognition, and not only in English, according to Roach, 1993, under certain circumstances, some disappear. Linking. It is perhaps more of a phenomenon that should be part of a speaker's repertoire. It is often referred to as a juncture. About rhythm. English is a stress time language in relation to stress timing. The theory states that English is much more rhythmical than most languages. Intonation. It is the rise and fall of the pitch of sound in speaking. Its function is to express attitude, feeling, or emotion. Effectiveness, weak forms. When we talk about weak forms in phonetics of English, this regards a series of words which have one pronunciation, strong, when isolated, another like weak, when not stressed within a phrase. Finally, let's talk about the effectiveness in classroom. A particularly effective activity in class is to give students transcriptions of spoken English, preferably a monologue. Okay, so as I just put main pictures in relation to the subheadings, as you can see, this person is pronouncing some words, I don't know, and it's important to say that the aspects of connected speech are important because it's the form that the word sounds and how it's connected by other important terms. Yes. Okay. Finally, the last subheading is stress, according to chapter 7. Okay, what about the stress? What is it? It is also referred to accent. The rhythmical patterns of English speech determine the essential nature of the language. So we have some main ideas about stress over here. Yes, over here. In songs and nursery rhythms, I think that this is an error. So the correct word is rhymes. Stress can be manipulated for the purpose of the songs, structures, and aesthetics. But in normal speech, people have to be more careful. People tend to stress new information or information that the speaker assumes his or her interlocutor doesn't know about. People tend to stress information, lexical words before functional, like grammatical words. Stressed syllables seem to be louder than the syllables they surround. They seem to be longer too. Okay, so another heading is stressing words. It is one of the old bugbears of pronunciation teaching. It is possible to open any theoretical book on English phonetics and find page and page devoted to a taxonomy of the rules for the placement of word stress. Okay, we have 3 stress rules. So 3 kinds of information, like syntactic, morphological, and phonological. English stress rules. A little knowledge is a dangerous thing. So this is a common phrase that is stated on chapter 7. It's not necessarily true when it applies to the learner. In this case, the student attempting to find some operational logic within the maze of English stress rules. So, well, before to say the reference, as conclusion, I think, as I have already said in the last video, for teachers, not only for teachers, but also for students, it's very difficult in, for example, to teach English pronunciation as teachers is difficult because we don't know how to teach exactly or how to implement the strategies to get or to, I don't know, to make students learn specifically how to say a word without confusing. I mean, in my case, in my experience, when I teach English pronunciation, the students generally tend to be confused, or they don't know how to say that word similar in the sound. So it's very difficult. I can try some strategies, or I can get some information from the internet, but it is difficult yet. So this is my goal, because I choose to study master's degree, because I think when I learn English, I don't remember exactly, but some teachers get stressed when they were taught where they taught English. And in my experience as teacher, it's very difficult. I don't know how to say exactly, but my students get stressed, get confused. For example, a strategy that I recommend to my students is listen to music, listen poems, I don't know, practice oral speech with their partners, with their family. I don't know. So I think by the practice is the best form to get the pronunciation in English. Well, the reference are Universidad de Expro SF, teaching pronunciation. When I investigated the other types of, I forgot a little bit, other types of aspects of connected speech are intonation and weak forms. So this information I got from the webpage, SlideServe, May 20, 2012, aspects of connected speech, and this is the link of that webpage. Okay, so this is all from my part. Thank you very much for your attention. I appreciate that. Goodbye.